What's up, guys, and welcome back to Gabe Miller Music. Today we're taking a look at the making of my latest track. This is Nebula, which is a trap-influenced future bass track. So I'm going to go ahead and play the drop, the most busy section of it, and build it up piece by piece, and then go into some individual elements. So here we go. Alright, so let's start off with the drums. First of all, I got a kick. And this is kind of a muffled kick, so just boosted a bunch of high end just to bring out that snap. Got a snare, just a bit of EQ on it. Wanted to get rid of those kind of nasty upper mids frequencies and also bring out a bit of shimmer. This element right here, it's pretty much throughout the whole song, and it's actually a snare, kind of an 808 snare, so. Did some pretty extreme EQ. And then to get rid of that little sustain there, I used LFO tool just a bit. So here's without. And with. Keep it short and punchy, so. Got a hi-hat. Nothing too crazy here. It's a from the built-in drum machine designer. Also have that little snare part. It's kind of a little metallic sounding hi-hat. And then finally the bass, which is kind of emulating an 808 bass. So let's go into that by itself. So this is an ES2 patch with some processing on it. So let me take all the processing off. So it's got nice low end, but it lacks enough kind of clarity and grit to make it really present, especially on smaller speakers, but really in any speakers it needed a bit more dirt. So I ran it through a distortion and then boosted some highs, some kind of upper mids to make it very clear and able to translate to lots of different systems, listening systems. So one thing you can learn from my mistake on actually was the amount of low end, and specifically the fact that I did not check how much low end there really was. So I mixed this on my main headphones and then put it out. What I did not do was I did not reference it on different systems. And so I have a pair of earbuds that tend to be very, very bass heavy. I didn't check it on those until after the track had already been released and discovered that the low end was too much. Most people, no one's noticed it so far, or at least not that they've said, and it's not super noticeable. However, it's going to bug me to no end. And so on this over here, I have it cut a bit. And then also on Soundcloud and Bandcamp, I have the new mix of the less low-end version, basically. But on YouTube, you can't change audio once it's out, so that's just going to bug me. So learn from my mistakes, kids. Anyway. And it's also got a nice bit of sustain on it, dialed in so that none of the notes clash. Going to the synths. It's kind of a pluck element. The notes are kind of spread out. And then this super saw. Let's go into the leads. I got two main leads layered here. This one is the main lead. And then this is a retro synth patch with a lot of low end cut. Neither of these really need much low end because, you know, that's not their job, and so I have a fair bit of it cut on both of these. So this one's an octave down. So this one kind of fills out the main one. And then finally the wobble bass elements. So that's... These are both alchemy patches. Didn't have to do a ton of these to really make them do my bidding. Got a boom sound effect. And then finally the kick, which is, or the sidechain kick rather. And this is muted and then routed into the compressors. And so all of these synth elements are sidechained to the kick, or really this duplicate of the kick that's muted, but it's playing the same pattern, and I believe it's the actual same kick sample. So just get a subtle bit of pumping there. Let's jump into the breakdown and then the build, and then we'll call it a day. So a lot of the same elements, except for a few differences. So we got, once again, the bass. This is the same element. The sidechain is gone, of course, because there's no kick. And it's got this pluck. Just a very simple, massive patch. A piano. And this kind of pluck saw element where in the drop, it's playing just straight chords. Here it's playing kind of that arpeggio thing. So those two elements complement each other. And the way I brought the saw pluck in was I actually automated a high cut filter. And I did it on a separate track, so I wouldn't have to deal with moving around automation on the main track. And then finally we launch into the build. So what I did over here was I had that chord play. And I did it on a couple elements, the saw element as well, which for the beginning I don't bring it in fully, and I have an EQ automated to bring it in because we don't hear it over here in this part of the breakdown, but we do hear it in the drop, and so I wanted a way to introduce that element without it just dropping in. So the tone of the track is, you know, kind of changed over the course of the build. So let's just build this up piece by piece here. We've got the kick. And that has a low cut filter automated up. We've got the clap. This has got some extra reverb on it as well. And as it builds, I have both a high and low cut filter automated in to just thin it out till it's basically nothing. So when it comes back in, it's nice and clear, again, especially in comparison to that. Got the chord element, and I have a pitch plugin just to bring it up, and that goes up by about an octave. And then with the other pluck element, I simply just have it play that chord and then automate the volume down until it's gone. So that slowly leaves, and then I automate this in. Once again, I have the same kind of pitch automation on it, as well as some low-cut filter automation. So that, let's hear all this without the risers here. And as you can hear, the chords also play in time with the kick. So if the kick gets faster, the chords hit repeatedly faster. And so finally, we drop in our risers. So that's this one. This one starts off like this. And this riser, which is just a steady riser just moving up in pitch. You have all together. And I have both these risers faded in. So they start off almost inaudible, and they become more and more obvious that they're there as time goes on. And then finally, to lead us into the drop at the very end, we got... So that's a few elements. First of all, I got the snare drops back in. I've also got a reversed snare. The little fill. And then the main lead playing the last note of the chord progression, so that's going to lead us into the first note of the chord progression very nicely, and that's also volume and EQ automated in, so like so. So let me play it by itself. And same with the chords. I have the last chord of the chord progression, once again to lead us into the first chord of the chord progression when the full drop hits, so... And that is the main body of the track. So hopefully you guys found this helpful and found it enjoyable. If you dug it, be sure to subscribe if you have not already. I have a lot more music coming this year and next year. So be sure to subscribe for that. And you can follow me on Twitter at Gabe Miller Music. And until next time, have a nice day.